Welcome to Team Effort. Today's topic is, when should we upgrade to the new version, or why both the hare and the tortoise lose in this game. Hi, I'm Morten from Hyperreactive. Today we're going to talk about upgrading to new versions of the different pieces of software that you're using in your tech stack. If you're new here, remember to subscribe and press that little bell. As always, you can read even more about this topic in the article linked in the description below, where you can also subscribe to our newsletter. This time around, the article contains some great links about software upgrade theory and practices. First thing to consider when developing an upgrade strategy for your project is, do you ever need to upgrade at all? If you need to upgrade your software, then you can start considering when and how. But if you don't ever need to, it's really the best of all situations. Every upgrade comes with the risk of problems. Of course, any consumer-facing software must be updated if security patches are released to avoid breaches, but most software updates include new features. If you're only spending a few months developing a solution that only have to be live and maintained for a few years, you might not ever need to upgrade it beyond security patches, and they're hopefully rare. But if your project is a long-running one, if you're going to be continually improving and expanding it over time, or if you plan on having a solution running for many years to come, you need to develop at least some sort of upgrading strategy. And with an upgrading strategy comes a strategy of which and how many external dependencies you're willing to rely on. If you're building your software on a base of, for example, .NET without too many plugins, upgrades are few and far between. But if you're building something in Node, Ruby, Python, or even front-end JavaScript, you'd easily be putting dozens of external plugins in your application, each with their own release schedule. And that can be okay. You just have to be aware of it and prepared for the overhead of managing updates. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. This comes to mind as you might think you can just not update to the newest version of React, ever. Let's just stay on React 16.5 because it works, right? Well, the problem is that all your other React plugins will continue to evolve for the new versions, and as you add features, you constantly have to remember that you're probably looking for older versions of all the other plugins that are compatible with this old version of React that you're stuck on. This will soon escalate as you maintain or even expand your code base. Bugs in external plugins can be patched because that will require updating them to new versions, but that requires updating the whole thing, and you can't do that because now you're so far behind the latest versions that upgrading would result in too many breaking changes to be able to do it without considerable downtime. Thus, the more complex your application is and the more disjoint dependencies you might have, the more important it is to update early. But not too early. Of course, you should never put betas or even release candidates in production, unless you really know what you're doing. But even the first stable version of a new release can be dangerous to put in production, as it might have some serious bugs that haven't been filtered out yet. Most companies wait a few weeks or a month to upgrade to the most recent stable version. Your mileage may vary. One idea could be to create a branch updating to the most recent version of external dependencies as soon as they're stable, but keep it in a separate branch in your codebase until you deem it ready. Keep these branches updated with your new development. This can be automated, of course, so when you're ready to do the switch, you already have a branch perfectly ready to deploy, updated to match your current production environment. Having an upgrade strategy is important, and the more dependencies you have, the more important it is to think about. Don't run the risk of getting too far behind the latest version, which will only result in circular arguments about not upgrading because of problems because you haven't upgraded. But also, don't be too eager. This brings me to the question of the day. Which old framework have you still not upgraded, and why? Please give your answer in a comment below and feel free to tag it like this. Finally, remember to like and subscribe for more content like this. We'll be posting new content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so make sure to stay updated. When you follow the link below to the in-depth article, you can also sign up for our newsletter on all things relevant for modern web development teams. Keep coding, and thanks for watching.